Kava. Here's an interesting kettle of fish. Kava has many benefits. It's the root of a plant that grows in Polynesia and has been used culturally for thousands and thousands of years. It's not that popular in the West because, like a lot of herbs, it doesn't taste very good and is quite often described as mud. It has the taste of mud, really. However, it is very good for anxiety, and it is very good for sleep, and it is very good socially. When you take kava, your muscles relax so much, and if you take enough of it, you can't even stand up. But with all of that energy not required to keep your muscles tense, it does seem to go to the brain. We had school teachers using it when it was available for study. We had students using it for study. You seem to get a photographic memory on kava. And the reason being is that you have more energy in the brain. Your brain is more focused and seems to retain memory, like a photographic memory, for up to 3 days quite lucidly, quite clearly. Kava is beneficial, and nobody has ever been harmed by kava. It really is embarrassing to say that our Australian government was the first country to ban kava and had nothing to do with the harm or any harm that was perceived by the use of kava. Why it's a shame is that they took it away mainly from our indigenous people. They at the same time, this is a couple of years ago, came down hard on drinking in Aboriginal communities, and I quite agree with that. But to take away kava at the same time was cruel. Kava is probably the best herb that you could use to come off alcohol addiction. Kava is a plant of peace, it's not one of violence. Nobody can get violent on kava. It's used it's used in Polynesia even by world leaders. And I found it ironic that shortly after they banned kava in Australia, there was a picture of the Chinese premier drinking kava in Fiji. I went to a bank to change money in Fiji, and in the bank they gave me kava while I was waiting. So it's not a dangerous drug at all. Our government, or our Therapeutic Goods Administration, are very ignorant in banning plants that have benefits. However, I see if you look into the scheduling, it will all be revealed while I ban kava, because kava in its natural form is not allowed into Australia, and it's a prohibited drug where you could go to jail by even possessing it in West Australia and in the Northern Territory. However, the pharmaceutical companies are allowed to bring kava in as pills. I think this is indicative of what we're trying to express in this video, that there is oppression of herbs, that the laws are biased towards pharmaceutical companies. So now you can't get to drink normal kava, natural kava in Australia. It is banned. I've got a few packets left here for myself, but apart from that you can get it in pill form, but it doesn't work in pill form. And there was an article in just yesterday's paper where it said that herbal products can kill, and they listed kava as one of the herbal products. Not only was that article erroneous, because the interviewer checked and surveyed 251 herbal products in America and came up with 30 that were contaminated with arsenic, etc. But when I looked into the report, only a few of the 251 products were natural herbs. All the rest were manufactured pills or manufactured herbal extracts. We're talking about natural herbs the way that they're meant for us, in their natural form, either as a tea or as to be chewed or to be smoked. However, the kava that did cause harm and caused the death to a woman in Germany wasn't natural kava. It was a kava pill. It seemed that after the report said, not this report, but the report into the death, said that in the manufacture of the kava, instead of using the root as the traditional people will there, and also any herbalist would tell you, they used the upper part of the plant. The upper part of the plant, the kava plant, is toxic, and this caused the woman's liver problem. It had nothing to do with natural kava. But in the process at the time, natural kava was banned because of the pharmaceutical error, really, in producing it.